We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.
The follow video is coverage of The Nancy Grace Show, covering the Steubenville, Ohio rape case. Thank you.
The jury. But first of all, let's go live to Stubenville, Ohio. It's right there on the West Virginia line. Outrage after a teen keg party turns horrific. And at this hour, and joining us live, why is Roseanne Barr somehow involved? I want to go straight out to Mary Lynn Pitts with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Mary Lynn, what happened at the party?
What happened, Nancy, was that a young woman became really intoxicated, and two football players are now charged with raping her at two later parties that they dragged her to. She became so intoxicated that they dragged her out of the first party by her ankles and, arms.
So she was dragged out of a party, ankles and arms. I know that I got some sound that was discovered by somebody or something called Anonymous online, where a lot of people were mocking the girl, saying she's a whore and a slut and she deserved to be raped and she deserved to be peed on. I'm not exactly understanding what's happening. Clark Goldband, fill in the gaps.
Well, Nancy, we're not talking about one or two, but three separate parties are involved. It was all the same night. The boys are star football players. One's a quarterback, one's a wide receiver. They had a scrimmage earlier in the day. Later that evening, they go to a party. The 16-year-old girl also goes to an end-of-summer party, if you will. There was a lot of alcohol involved, according to reports.
Clark, just stop, all right? This ain't no tea party, all right? Don't make it sound like an end-of-summer party where they're all dressed in white and they're having tea cakes. That's not the way it went down, all right? Wasn't there some kind of makeshift vodka, rum, and hard whiskey bar set up? These are 16-year-olds.
According to the New York Times,
Everybody was drunk, and they're dragging a girl around either naked or half naked by her wrists and her ankles. She's so passed out, she doesn't even know what's going on. Is that the kind of party you're referring to as the end of the summer party?
According to reports, that is what took place at that party. And there's more, Nancy. In fact, according to some allegations, there may have been people urinating on this 16-year-old girl, and far worse, according to authorities. They allege that two of the football players raped this 16-year-old girl that evening. One allegedly took place inside a Volkswagen Jetta. The other allegedly took place inside one of the homes.
Wait. Why don't we just put the whole thing to rest and get some DNA, Clark? Everybody, you're seeing a picture posted anonymously online showing a girl appears unconscious being carried by hands and feet by two males. It's allegedly from the night of this attack. Now, we can't verify it is the alleged victim in this case. But you know what? If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. All right, Clark, where's the DNA?
There is no DNA that we know of. Based on reports, the girl was not examined for at least 24 to 48 hours after the alleged incident. Authorities were not able to uncover any DNA that we know of.
Right there. Mary Lynn Pitts, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. In 24 hours, now it's been a while since I tried a rape case, but sperm lives a good 72 hours. At least.
Right,
but
it wasn't that kind of a rape. It wasn't that kind of a rape, Nancy. They're accused of putting their fingers into this young woman's body.
Okay, so you're telling me in a nice way that this was digital vaginal penetration, all right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got it, Mary Lynn. I want to go right now to Roseanne Barr. Activist supports Occupy Stubenville and the efforts of Anonymous. Roseanne Barr, thank you for being with us, and explain to me how you are connected to this case.
Well, Nancy, I let you know about it on Twitter, and that's how I found out about it. People sent me information, they tweeted me information, and it sickened me, and so I just, in order to support the rape victim, just became more and more involved, reading more and more. And then I thought, well, there's a way for me to help. So I I know a lot of people in the press and that kind of thing, and I tried to do everything I could to bring some, as it turns out, international attention to things that happen in the United States at the same time where everybody's talking about rape in India. I felt like, well, this is just international, and I think that a shift is happening, a shift in the way people view things, and I'm very glad to be part of that, along with anybody and any group who wants to do the right thing for the right reason at the right time, and I think that time is now. I'd like to say two things, though, Nancy, that have been left out of the people who were talking before me. The girl, it seems, was roofied. She was drugged. And she was also, some say, set up by her ex-boyfriend and a girlfriend of hers at a whole other typical teen party, and these parties intersected. After she was allegedly roofied and passed out unconscious is when she was put into the trunk of a car and moved to two other parties, one of them across state lines, to be raped at those parties too. So this is really huge. And what's really disturbing about it is that it is a small town and everybody seems to know everybody. The prosecuting attorney, I think, I may be wrong, but I think her son might be involved. That's why I wanted to get involved, and why I just wish the FBI would come down there and get involved too, because I think it's huge, and I think it's, there's just too many things, too many people knowing too many people at the top.
What is amazing to me, after prosecuting so many just horrific cases, Roseanne, including rape cases, I'm never surprised when somebody commits a crime. I'm always surprised at the other people who just stand around. This was a party of like 50 people. And here is a naked or semi-naked girl being dragged around by two guys. She's obviously unconscious. And everybody just stands around. And you know what, Roseanne Barr? You didn't just stand around. You did something. You did something.
I'm a grandmother, Nancy, and you're a parent, and a lot of people are parents, and I want to say to the people in Stubenville who came out, they didn't just stand around either, and I think a fire has been lit, and I think that spark is going to keep growing, and I hope it does. I hope we keep this in the public mind. I hope we look at a culture of bulliedom where adult males and females are bullying
there's more than just her testimony, Roseanne, because obviously if the photo is accurate, and I see no reason why it would not be accurate, she's out of it. She may not even remember what happened, but take a listen to this. Roll what we've got, Liz. This is what is being said online, on Facebook, on Twitter, people that were involved in this incident, on YouTube. Listen to this.
They peed on her. That's how you know she's naked. Someone pissed on her. Just go over there, please. Go over there. He's like, why are you raping me? Is it really rape because you don't know if she wanted to? She might have wanted to. That might have been her final wish.
That's like rape. It is rape. They raped her. This is the funniest reality.
They raped her harder than that cop raped Marcellus Wallace in Pulp Fiction. She's better than Obi-Wan Kenobi after Darth Vader cut his head off. That's how dead she is. I'm gonna get real. She's deader than Andy Reid's son. I'm sorry. That's how what's wrong with you? That's how. Eagles. She's deader than Chris Henry. She's deader than O.J. Swat. She is deader than Kaylee Anthony. There is never been someone that's dead. She's deader than Harvey Dent after Batman attacked him on that building. She's deader than they thought Gandalf was. She's deader
their shockingly lighthearted conversation appears to be about the alleged sexual assault of a 16-year-old girl at a series of parties.
A recent leak on the internet of a video where a group of teens are heard joking.
We are live in Steubenville. It's right there on the West Virginia border. I think the population, Clark, what is it, 18? How big is it?
Nancy, the population is 18,000. The football stadium holds about 10,000.
Now, this is what I don't get. All these people are online talking about this girl getting raped. She's apparently either drunk or was roofied. Are they still playing football? Who's in jail?
Nancy, the two 16-year-olds who were charged in this crime were originally sent to juvenile hall. They've been out on bond now. They are going to classes at the local jail, and they're allowed to leave for church. Now, the other football players on the team, there are some athletes who allegedly posted online and commented on this. They, Nancy, as far as we know, have not received any sanctions. In fact, the head coach has been quoted as saying that they didn't think they did anything wrong, so he's not going to take out any sanctions on them. That report coming from the New York...
The football coach said what?
That these sports players, these students, didn't feel they did anything wrong, so he's not going to take any action against them. This coming from the New York Times.
Let's hear... Everybody, I've got a stack. Come to me, fool, please. I have a stack of what was said on YouTube by the people that were at the party and observed this, but I'm not allowed to tell you what all they, to play it. I can't play it for you. You keep seeing a picture. It was posted anonymously online, and it shows a girl that looks like she's unconscious being carried by hands and feet by two males. Now, this is allegedly from the night of the attack. We can't verify if it is the alleged victim. Listen to this. Rachel Kent, listen to this. This is one of my team that's investigating the story. You're about to go to jail. Her blank, I'm going to leave that out because it's filthy talk about a woman's vagina. It's about as dry as the sun right now. Mars, dude. If you try to take a sip from it, you'll die. If you need water, you'll be out of luck. Bro, he raped a girl and Malin raped somebody with Trent effing egging him on. Why aren't these people in jail? Well, what is happening, Rachel? What do you know?
Well, Nancy, the fury was ignited because literally the night that this is allegedly taking place, tons of Twitter accounts are basically providing a gruesome play-by-play of the crime. For example, some people deserve to be peed on. That's from one Twitter account. Another Twitter account tweeted, "Song of the night is definitely Rape Me" by Nirvana. Another one, "Finally saw a dead person. Whoa. It wasn't rape. They were just making love." These are coming from multiple different Twitter accounts, and we know that only two people are behind bars.
Jane Casares, legal correspondent in session. Why are these two guys out of jail? Yes, I know it was just a digital penetration. Is that what? That makes it not a rape, not under the law. That's a rape. Why are they out from behind bars? Now, Jane, I understand what Roseanne was saying about everybody standing by and not doing anything. I agree. They should all go to jail. But that's not the law. The law is you don't have to help. You can stand by and let something like this happen and you don't go to jail. But what about the guys that were actually observed doing this?
It was determined by a judge that they could have house arrest and that they could go to school and do certain things. So that was because of a judge. But you know, Nancy, the social media aspect of this, that's why that now there are two people charged, because the family of this 16-year-old alleged victim, they got a picture of their daughter that was comatose, basically, and they got a hold of that YouTube video. They took it to law enforcement, and that's why two people are charged today.
So the family got this photo and they went to law enforcement?
Yes, they did. A family member of theirs saw it and took it to them, and 2 days later they went to law enforcement with it.
To Sheriff Fred Abdallah, a special guest joining us from Steubenville. He's the Jefferson County Sheriff. Sir, thank you for being with us. What's happening in the case?
First, thank you, and God bless you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Let me say this. I'm not the one that investigated this case. I had a small part in it. Steubenville Police Department is the one that investigated the case. I sent some information there to you to look at.
I got that. I got the warrants. You're actually trying to get cell phones and computers of people that were there at the party that night because you think it has valuable evidence. Sheriff, I can't tell you how upsetting this is to many of us. I'm a crime victim myself. That it seems like if we weren't screaming right now, nothing would be done.
Well, let me say this. There's so much information out there on Twitter and the internet that is totally false. Now, when our prosecutor, Jane Hanlon, her son's name was brought up that he was part of this. As soon as his name surfaced, she recused herself, as did the judge. And the documentation that I sent to you is from the Carmel Police Court, where she requested the Attorney General's office to come in, prosecute anybody and everybody that was involved in this case.
Well, praise the Lord. I'm glad to hear it, Sheriff.
That was done in August. And since August, there has been no new evidence has surfaced in the case. Now, Stubenville Police Chief, as well as myself, kept asking people, please come forward, please come forward. Anybody that knows anything, nobody come forward. Steubenville Police Department, in the early days of this investigation, interviewed between 50 and 60 individuals that were at these parties. Of that many interviews, there were 3 people that testified or give statements as to what did they witness. And what they witnessed and it was testified at the court hearing, in the detention hearing, they witnessed that they saw 3 individuals having sexual contact with this young girl.
Well, the girl, to me, Roseanne Barr, looks like she's totally comatose.
Sheriff, the cell phones and all were already confiscated shortly after the crime and everything deleted. And what about those videos? What about prosecuting people for sending basically violent child porn over their devices? Have you looked at that at all, Sheriff?
I just hate to see a 16-year-old girl called a whore and a slut online because she was either drunk or roofied. That's Georgia homeboy. That is the date rape drug. You know, Roseanne Barr, other than us publicizing this and begging for justice, what do you believe people should do?
I think people can contact people on Twitter, specifically KY Anonymous and Just Batcat and Printified.com and Printy Did It at Twitter and Roseanne, the real Roseanne on Twitter too. We think that Sheriff Abdullah, what's his name, Abdullah could be doing more, and I would personally like to see the FBI come in and break up what seems to be an old boy network that protects rapists and not their victims. Yeah, I think it's a witch burning and it upsets me. Thank you so much for taking it on, Nancy.
Well, you know, Roseanne, I'm just so distraught, especially now that I have my children, to think that this could happen to one of them. This girl was obviously unconscious, and that now people are saying she's a whore and a slut, deserved to be raped, deserved to be peed on. It's heartbreaking and disgusting.